50 Cent is reportedly planning to call Trump to stop him from pardoning Diddy. Leaked photos of Diddy from inside Fort Dix have surfaced, and 50 Cent is losing it. But here's the real question. Why is Diddy telling everyone in prison that he's getting out soon? Does he know something we don't?
50 Cent don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. He literally is saying he's going to reach out to Trump to remind Trump of the things that P. Diddy has said about him for the sole express purposes of making sure that Trump doesn't pardon Diddy in the event that Diddy gets convicted of sex trafficking and racketeering. That's what 50 Cent is sworn to do. And I got to admit to you, that's wild. Damn, you know you got an enemy there when the man want to go out of his way to contact the president, and clearly he has some kind of inroads where he can get to President Trump so President Trump can hear him. He's basically saying, yo, brother need to go down.
Diddy knew there was no chance he'd walk free. So even before his sentencing, his team started talks with Trump about a possible pardon. Senior White House officials confirmed that Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, had already reached out hoping for help, and Trump himself admitted multiple times that he and Diddy used to be good friends.
Trump over the years, there was some sort of relationship there. President Trump even called him a good friend on a 2012 episode of his TV show The Apprentice. Problem is, some comments Diddy made about Trump in recent years as Diddy really entered the political realm. There's a video where he's speaking to radio host Charlemagne saying, if Trump gets elected, I really do believe in my heart there'll be a race war. In another video on Revolt, he says white men like Trump need to be banished. And by the way, you know who's not letting anyone forget this? Combs' rival 50 Cent. Took to social media recently, wrote, see, Trump don't like S like this, buddy, you run your mouth too much. And Donald doesn't take well to disrespect and doesn't forget who chooses to go against him. While working tirelessly to make America great again, there is no room for distraction. He would consider pardoning anyone who is being mistreated, not Puff Daddy. And let me tell you, the idea of Trump pardoning Diddy is not getting a ton of love out there.
Diddy didn't want anyone to know he was secretly begging Trump for a pardon. But $50 found out, and he was quick to remind Trump why he should stay far away from. Diddy Tard 50 posted videos on Instagram and Twitter showing Diddy's old hate campaign against Trump, just to make sure he doesn't forgive him. One of 50's tweets read, see, Trump don't like stuff like this, buddy. You run your mouth too much.
White men like Trump need to be banished. Trump gets elected, I really do believe in my heart there'll be a race war. That's why this message is not just to black people, you know what I'm saying? This message is to everybody. This man is really trying to turn us against each other and put us in a situation. America messed up.
Then Trump now clarifies his comments.
This isn't the first time 50 has gone after Diddy. Just a few weeks ago, right before Diddy's sentencing, 50 sent a letter to the judge asking him not to let Diddy out. In that letter, 50 described how dangerous Diddy really is and warned that he might go after the victims if released. He also revealed that he's been investigating Diddy for a long time and is planning to drop a documentary soon.
50 Cent said, you know what, you guys? Let me also write a letter to the judge. 50 said, Dear Judge Subramanian, I have an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He's very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments, despite him trying to teach a class in there. As you are already aware, the government has spent the maximum amount of money on deploying federal agencies, which appear to be an army in 2 locations simultaneously. Later, his son, who's dealing with his own rape allegations. Hey, come on, brother. Come on, man. What Christian Combs got to do with this, 50? He claimed that the feds had hit the wrong house. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male sex workers and keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public. And babies need it. My Netflix doc on this scandalous subject is coming soon. Oh man, this is downright evil, you guys. Why would 50 send this to the judge?
Things definitely aren't going the way Diddy hoped. Trump doesn't forgive, and he doesn't forget. Back when Trump was running for office, Diddy launched a hate campaign against him and even started his own political party. In a recent interview, Trump admitted that Diddy's past attacks have made it very hard for him to even consider a pardon.
Things have got too serious of a point. Seeing what's going on, White men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. This man literally threatened the lives of us and our families about going to vote.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Yeah.
We're in a war. We're not taking this like it's a war. We're taking this like, oh, we're in a presidential election. No, we're in a war of love versus hate. The number one priority is to get Trump out of office. The tribe of people that have the responsibility and really should be scared to death of this man is white people.
Explain.
If this man is elected, we're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a race war.
Diddy was a good friend of yours back then. He has since found himself in some very serious legal trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you ever consider pardoning him?
Well, nobody's asked. You had to be the one to ask, Peter, but nobody's asked. But I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. I think some people have been very close to asking. First of all, I'd look at what's happening, and I haven't been watching it too closely, although it's certainly getting a lot of coverage. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years. He used to really like me a lot, but I think when I ran for politics, he sort of, that relationship busted up. From what I read, I don't know, he didn't tell me that, but I'd read some little bit nasty statements in the paper all of a sudden. You know, it's different. You become a much different person when you run for politics and you do what's right. I could do other things, and I'm sure he'd like me, and I'm sure other people would like me, but it wouldn't be as good for our country. As we said, our country's doing really well because of what we're doing. So it's not a popularity contest. So, I don't know, I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact.
Believe it or not, TMZ is now reporting that a source close to the president revealed a pardon for Diddy could come as early as next week. Trump has spoken to Diddy directly, and allegedly, he's considering granting the pardon. If Trump actually goes through with it, Diddy could walk free and get away with everything he's done.
Just 3 days after Diddy was sentenced to over 4 years in prison on prostitution charges, President Donald Trump seems to confirm he's heard from the mogul's legal team. The comments coming Monday from the Oval Office as reporters asked about a pardon for Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving 20 years for child sex trafficking.
I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it, but I will speak to the DOJ.
Why would she be a candidate for clemency, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to speak to the DOJ. I'll look at it. I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Trump and Diddy's connection goes way back to the late 90s. Diddy was even a guest at Trump's 2005 wedding, and for years the two moved in the same social circles.
One mogul after another. It's mogul time.
ET's cameras caught Trump and Diddy together at a New York charity event back in 2008. One of Diddy's lawyers has also confirmed the possibility of a pardon, saying that while he can't share details yet, Diddy is planning something that will shock everyone. According to him, Diddy's preparing a massive comeback, one no one sees coming. Could this be a hint at Diddy's upcoming pardon?
Is this a way to hint at Diddy's upcoming pardon?
President Trump, as we've just played, said that Sean Combs had reached out to him. Do you know how that happened? Did he write a letter? Did somebody place a call for him? How did that happen?
I know that it did. I'm not going to betray exactly how, but I know that there has been that communication, and I know that obviously Sean would welcome a commutation or a pardon. It's no secret. I saw today with great interest that there was another person who the president commuted his sentence because of
a Bitcoin
what he
person who pled guilty.
Yeah, correct, and got sentenced, and President thought it was an overreach. If that was an overreach, and I forget the exact sentence, but I think it pales in comparison to Sean's. And remember, One of the things that is irksome, if you will, about Sean's, and I call him Sean, the president calls him Puff Daddy. I call him Sean as long as I've known him. One of the things that is somewhat irksome is that the government took a big swing at him, and basically tried to get him into take his entire fortune and net worth and the rest of his life, and they lost. And I think that the 50-month sentence was punitive, if you will. I think, if anything, he should have gotten some consideration for the fact that he took the gamble, he risked it, he went to trial, and basically beat all the mandatory life sentences and beat the mandatory divestiture of all of his assets.
Now, the final thing I want to say is this. I asked Joe Tacopina, what about Trump's comment? What does it do to the jury? And he thought it was a nightmare for Diddy that Donald Trump said this. And the reason he thinks that is when the jury goes into deliberations, they could end up saying, well, look, I mean, even if we convict him, because we kind of think he's guilty, we're not sure he's guilty, but if we find him guilty, he's probably going to get pardoned because Trump kind of sent that message.
Let's not forget, Diddy's had deep ties with the government for years. Everyone in the streets knew he was working with the feds. Even Sue Goodnight claimed that Diddy's been an informant and that the feds would find a way to help him dodge a sentence. The cops always knew what Puffy was involved in, yet he never got indicted. It's even possible that Diddy already has a secret immunity deal lined up.
How does it go on for so long? When we were on the street, we didn't get a day's rest. I mean, the government was all over us. The FBI is all over us. They got investigations on us. They got informants. They got surveillance equipment.
He was not cutting you off, but he was an informant for years.
Was he really?
Yeah. That's why when people was like, oh, you're going to run, he's not. It's the reason why these type of people get caught up, they always been telling they bigger than the law because they part of the law, And as you know, all these people get tired of their rats sooner or later.
This is exactly what Gene Deal confirmed after the sentencing. There's no bridge Diddy won't cross to get away. He'll lie, beg, and cheat if it means escaping this sentence. Gene said Diddy will beg Trump for a pardon and use every available means to escape. Diddy knows his street reputation puts him in danger behind bars. Tons of people want revenge on Diddy, and prison is the perfect place to do it. He will stop at nothing, using contacts, favors, and manipulation to escape punishment.
I think that he's going to use every method, whether it's appeals, whether it's Trump. He's going to use every method he can to get out of jail earlier than what he can. He's going to use all his resources to do whatever he has to do. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what he's supposed to do. Don't you think so? He's supposed to use all his resources he can to get out of jail.
You think Trump would do it?
I don't know. Trump is a very vindictive person. And like he said, he didn't say, I used to like the guy, but he didn't say a lot of nice things to me, about me. So if it would come by, if it come by his desk and if something is monetary to Trump and it's his last year, but Diddy should be out before Trump last year. He only gonna do 2 years, bro. He go 2 years, he go to a halfway house. That's it.
Diddy is planning something big. Inmates inside Fort Dix have said that Diddy's been bragging about an upcoming pardon, claiming he's getting out very soon. According to unnamed sources at the Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institution in New Jersey, TMZ reported that Diddy's been talking nonstop about Trump pardoning him in early 2026. TMZ also noted that Diddy's been promising other inmates he'll take care of them once he's pardoned and set free.
Don't you hate people that don't know when to shut the hell up? Now look, it's this Diddy thing. Look what he's saying now. Diddy's been running around Fort Dix, bragging about Trump supposed to be pardoning him early next year. This is what he's telling the inmates. But I'm gonna tell you why he's telling them that. And I don't like it. See, Diddy think he's slick. See, Diddy know they on his ass, and he trying to figure out between washing clothes and all this other shit, trying to figure out how he can stay cool and stay protected. Well, this is why. This is how. What if I told you sources inside the prison are telling us Diddy is letting fellow inmates know he will take care of them? Why? Because he wants them off his ass, and he's gonna do that when he's pardoned and set free. So you kind of feel me where this is going. Lucky for Diddy, he don't know when to shut up, because he may have had a chance to have a pardon if he was shut the hell up. Now, if Trump was gonna pardon him in early 2026, that shit over now, because he done put it all out there to the world instead of just keeping quiet. What if I told you?
The only person faster than TMZ is 50 Cent. The moment Diddy's leaked prison photos hit the internet, 50 was instantly reacting and clowning Puffy online. A prison guard at Fort Dix reportedly sold those photos to TMZ, showing Diddy standing in the courtyard, smiling alongside a group of other inmates.
50 Cent takes to social media to wish Diddy a happy birthday. 50 Cent took to his Instagram and said, "I told you he'd be alright. His appeal going. Diddy good. Happy birthday, LOL." And he included this video that literally made me cry. Like, what did I just watch? Yesterday, he was also trolling Diddy when these pictures emerged of Diddy in the yard making friends at Fort Dix. 50 Cent said, "He looked happy to me with all the handsome men around. Good morning, New York."
He posted a picture of him smiling and wrote the caption, "Diddy beat the Rio. That boy a bad man. He like the gay John Gotti." Hey, yo, chill. Then he posted this one. He said, "Diddy just told me to tell y'all don't worry about him. He gonna hold it down." I'm not gonna lie, it seemed like 50 Cent happy that Diddy didn't go to jail. As much as he don't like Diddy, I don't think he wanted to really see him in jail doing life. That's crazy.
Photo was leaked of Diddy walking the prison yard. Here's a photo of Diddy inside FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey, walking around the prison yard. This photo most likely came from a staff member at the prison who probably sold the photo. What this tells me is this institution might be more lax on rules because the first day Diddy was in there, a photo was already leaked. The whole time Diddy was in MDC Brooklyn, not a single photo leaked.
50 isn't done with Diddy, not even with him behind bars. He's gearing up to release a docuseries with Netflix that will expose all of Diddy's crimes. The series, titled Diddy Do It, was first announced in December 2023, and according to insiders, production is almost complete. It says the series won't focus on the current gossip, but instead on the inner workings of Diddy's criminal empire. Netflix released a statement saying, "This is a story with significant human impact, a complex narrative spanning decades. Not just the headlines or clips seen so far, we remain committed to giving a voice to the voiceless and presenting authentic, nuanced perspectives."
Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations, I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else, but I did feel uncomfortable with the way you would present the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah, and then that swayed me away from it, just that alone.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like, when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them, and it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little odd.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going with, like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. You know, so.
Unlike Diddy, 50 has nothing to hide. There's nothing in his past that someone like Diddy could use against him. In an industry full of Diddy's accomplices, 50 is the only one who valued his integrity more than a Diddy party. Everyone else stays silent because they were partying with Diddy back in the day, but 50 always kept his distance, staying far away from anything that could compromise his principles.
And you don't throw out allegations, but like, you kind of
poke fun at them?
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way? Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up?
I don't got that shit in my past. I'm not.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like, not that it's real enough.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't fucking give her a drink so she forget what the fuck happened. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drug. I gave me the fucking drug to perform. So she can remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the fuck? Yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. Like, doing pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. I don't know why it's so hard for people
so
just
for
to
people to feel like
shit is
you
weird.
would have something or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too. This is people that are looking on the separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what does that mean?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip-hop culture could think that everybody in hip-hop culture is with that shit.
Let's not forget the real reason Diddy was transferred to Fort Dix, to try and cut down his sentence. His lawyers specifically requested Fort Dix, saying it's close to New York so Diddy's family could visit. But we all know the real reason behind it. Fort Dix has a drug rehabilitation program that can shave almost a year off a sentence if an inmate proves they were addicted and have recovered. The RDAP is an intense 500-hour, 9-month program focused on substance abuse treatment. Sources say a release date for Diddy is already being finalized, and if everything goes according to his plan, he could be out as early as 2028.
At the time of the sentencing, a substantial sentence must be given to serve an example to abusers and victims alike. That decision did not sit well with Combs' attorney, Tenny Garagos, who emphasized that her client was found not guilty of the more serious charges in his case. Telling ABC News just minutes after the sentencing, the jury made it very clear in their verdict that they acquitted him of the sex trafficking and the RICO count. Not guilty means not guilty. Combs' attorney, Alexandra Shapiro, who is leading the team appealing Combs' sentence, described Subramanian's decision to ABC News as totally inconsistent with the jury verdict.
Sean Diddy Combs was transferred to the federal prison in Fort Dix, New Jersey yesterday, where he will start to serve the rest of his 50-month sentence. Combs had been held at a detention center in Brooklyn. He was convicted in July on 2 counts of interstate prostitution. Combs is slated to be released in May of 2028, but could be released earlier for good behavior.
Diddy tried to keep it quiet that he was reaching out to Trump for a pardon. He knew that if 50 found out, he'd do everything possible to shut it down. The more public attention this gets, the harder it'll be for Diddy to secure that pardon. No one wants to be blamed for letting a criminal like Diddy walk free. At first, Diddy only told one person about his plan. His lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, revealed that Diddy told him directly, "Talk to Trump and tell him I need a pardon. Get me a pardon."
To everyone, a senior White House official declined to comment on, quote, speculation and told us any decision on pardons would come from the president himself. Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said he has not talked to the Trump administration about it. You mean to tell me that you really have nothing to do with a possible pardon right now?
Nothing. I have nothing to do with a possible pardon.
What is Sean Combs saying about the possibility of a pardon?
I think he knows I'm not political. We've never discussed it other than I tell him what's in the news about it. But you know.
And what's his reaction? Does he laugh? Does he say, let's look into it? What does he say?
Go tell him that I need a pardon. Go tell him I deserve a pardon. That's what he said.
How are you preparing him?
So I tell him what the guidelines are, and the guidelines are about 2 or 3 years. And I tell him, the judge could go above the guidelines.
Do you have any regrets in how you tried this case?
It's a good question. Not really. Not really.
You called the relationship between Combs and Ventura a great modern love story. Ventura says she was raped, physically abused, and became addicted to drugs because of Combs.
I think that's what makes it, the rape we vehemently deny. And I know, I respect that she said that, I don't think the jury concluded that that happened. In terms of the drugs and the other stuff, I think that's what makes it a modern love story. I think she very much loved him, and I know he very much loved her.
Cassie Ventura's attorney told us that Agnifalo's description of the relationship is a, quote, complete disgrace and affront to survivors of domestic violence. Now,
the lawyers, when they were speaking on Diddy being in prison and the circumstances him being in prison, I didn't never hear about this, and nobody ever said anything about this. And I want to know if it's in the prison records. They said one of the guards stopped a dude from shanking Diddy. Now, I'm like, if he was doing all this positive in jail, and they was talking about he was all the inmates loved him and they was employing him and doing standing ovation. I wonder what inmate was trying to shake him. Was that one of the Tupac? Was that one of the Tupac fans, or that was one of Biggie fans? Because they said that the guard, they said that in court. One of the lawyers, one of the guards stopped one of the individuals that was trying to shank him, bro. And that was crazy. Nobody, I never, that didn't leak. Everything leaks from prison, but that didn't leak. Nobody wrote home and said, yo, dudes is in here trying to stab Diddy up. But the lawyers mentioned that today. I want to see if they're going to investigate that right there. You know what I'm saying? And base that, or he probably used that, base that on trying to help Diddy getting into one of those camps or one of those programs.
Diddy begging for a pardon, 50 clowning him online, and Trump just sitting back watching the chaos. You can't make this stuff up. And if Diddy really thinks Trump's going to save him after all the trash he talked, he better start writing a new verse from inside Fort Dix. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned. Because if Diddy actually gets that pardon, 50's next post is going to break the internet.